Welcome back to another video. Today you join me in this beautiful studio and we're doing a market update. We're going to concentrate in Maple in Dubai Hills. So these are the 3-bedroom property variants, the 2M types. So as you can see, I've got my iPad here, so we've got another camera set up there. So you'll be able to see all of the transactions, all of the different locations. So let's get straight into it. So in terms of sales, now this is over the last 13 weeks, we've seen 18 transactions and they've happened between 3.2 and 3.7 million, which is an incredible number, of course, because we were really pushing up at the 3.2 mark, and we had a lot of stability around there, lots of transactions happening, and now we've broken that and we've gone massively to the upside. So it's going to be really interesting to see how this plays out. Are prices going to keep on going up, or are we going to see, some sort of correction? A lot of people are talking about it. Is it going to happen? I know a lot of people are moving to Dubai, so time will tell. Rental. So as you can see, rental transactions, we've seen 52 total transactions in the last 13 weeks. So, and that's between 180,000 to 250,000. What we do have to bear in mind, some of the lower transactions will be renewals. Some renewals still come up as a new contract, just a process of which it is actually put onto the Ijari system. So no real changes in terms of rentals. So are people willing to pay more, even though, the return on investment isn't significantly higher? We were seeing the 250 numbers come in, over the last year, towards the end of the last year, we were seeing these numbers come in as well. Majority of the transactions, I would say, are around 230, 240,000. So let's get into the transactions. I'll show you on the iPad here. So these are the transactions in Maple 1 and 2. As you can see, you've got lots of variation in price between 3.2 and 3.7 million. So massive variance there. Let's have a look at the first transaction, and we can go through the locations and see what is different. So 306, 2,069 square foot plots. This one's actually been rented after it was sold. I know this specifically because I sold that property. Really great units. It backs onto a green area here. What we have to remember with 3 beds is you get the 3 beds on the second, third, and then the camel track over here. You wouldn't get a 3 bed on this main green belt because those are 4-bedroom middle units and 5-bedroom end units. So 235,000 is what it just rented for. The market did slow down recently, so I think that's why it didn't achieve the 250. For rentals, it slowed down. But of course, from sales points of view, you can see it's a lot. There's a lot happening. So going straight to the next one, comparable unit here, 3.365. Again, a very similar plot. That's 407. I did many viewings on that property, and there was another property on the other side that was available for sale. So great number achieved for that property. At the time, remember this is 13 weeks, this was a really significant number. 3.7, this is the top of the top in terms of what's sold. You've got a great location because between Maple 1 and 2, you've got a green belt. It's more of a landscaped area, but really great. 3.7 million. This property will enjoy the sunrise from this position, and then the sunsets, it will have total shade because it will go over the property. 3.3 million, which is for this property over here, just on the opposite side. That's a back-to-back unit, again with this one here. So that's number 64 and 60 that sold. I personally sold number 64, great deal at 3.2 million, or considering what the market's done. 3.3, very similar price, but it's rented for a little bit more. So that's great. That would have been sold and transferred towards the earlier part of the 13 weeks. Now, number 24. Now, this location is interesting because It's close to the community center, which is just over here, close to the entrance, so you can get out very quickly. But with this particular unit, it's backing towards the internal road. So, some people prefer this location because it's totally private. And of course, you're not going to be looking into someone else's property. So you can enjoy some privacy there. So 3.45 million. Last transaction over here in Maple 2, which is 323. That's that unit there. That's on one of the green belts again. Great location. Notice that's a slightly larger plot as well. So that's actually a really good, great property. 3.3 million, considering where the market is now. It's a very, very good deal. Okay, moving over to Maple 3, where we've seen the bulk of the transactions. You have the first one, which is 125. That was 2,095 square foot plot, and that sold for 3.35 million. Great thing about this property is just over here, you have probably the best park in Maple between Maple 3 and 2. Coming over here, we have these two transactions. Firstly, starting off with this, number 187, very close to the community center. That's on the main green belt. It's very rare to get something on the first green belt. It's only in Maple 3 where you have the 3 beds lined up here. So that's a great unit, close to the community center, 3.5 million. And then just a few doors down, 3.3 million. That's 178 that sold, rented at 143,000, much lower than the market value. This one over here, backing towards the park, 3.5 million. That one sold with a rental contract at 145,000 till February 24. Moving over, we've had 2 sales of, these were on the market for a very long time, in fact. So you've had 2 sales here. These properties are backing towards the internal road. So that's between Maple and Sidra. And those are very similar plots, slightly more than average, 2,188 and 2,177. So 3.325, 3.35, very similar price points. This is a great unit. I've sold a few properties on this particular park area. So essentially you've got a very nice sort of private park area. You're close to the community center. You can just go over here. And that one sold at 3.625. But more interestingly, look at that. Rented at 300,000 till December 23. So this property was upgraded. They've done quite a few bits inside. They've done the landscaping outside, very nicely presented. So that's why it's achieved probably the highest recorded ever transaction for a 3-bed in Maple. So having a look at the remaining transactions, you've got 358 that sold at 3.6 million. You can see how close it is to the community center. One of the highest transactions recorded as well. 3.25, we've got one on the camel track. So all of this is the jogging track. And then you have, of course, desert land where you have camels, gazelles. You've got this unit here, which is 481, sold at 3.25. And then you have 443, which sold at 3.5 million, slightly larger than average plot. So overview. What do we think is going to happen? Look, there's a lot of things happening in Dubai at the moment. There's a lot of people coming over. They're finding Dubai as the place where they want to settle. Will prices keep on increasing? Well, we're seeing a lot of end users move to these Maple communities or Dubai Hills in general. So time will only tell. Let me know what you think, of course, in the comments. If you've enjoyed the content, feel free to like and subscribe. And of course, if you have any questions about real estate or Dubai Hills specifically, feel free to get in touch with me on WhatsApp. I've left my WhatsApp telephone number in the description below, and I'll be happy to speak to you. Thanks for watching. Take care.